Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the REDX podcast. So glad that you're here today. My name is Haley Johnson. I will be the host today, but we have a returning guest. We have Andrew Vose, right? That's how you say it?
Yes. Yeah, I was muted. Sorry.
No worries.
I thought I was going to do this cool like finger wave and say what's up. Totally failed, but it's all good.
No worries. It looks like, were you saying that you were, now my camera's frozen.
It's
You
all
see that?
good. We're having
kind of
some
a good,
difficulty today. Yeah, so these dang headphones, cameras, it's all good.
We love it. Okay, we're rolling with the punches.
Yep.
Hopefully, maybe someone from my team can come in here and help me with the
Maybe
thing.
just
But anyway,
stop the camera and turn it back on, see if that works. At least you're smiling.
Honestly, I'm just laughing. So I guess that's a good still image for a while.
Yes.
But as long as you can hear me, we can keep going.
I always get this still image like this.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess it definitely could be worse. So I'm not too mad. Okay, great. Well, so let's get started. You said that you're at the beach or something?
Yeah. So, where I live in Florida, have a team out here in Northwest Florida, Panhandle of Florida, Pensacola Beach, Navarre, Destin, and my mom's here for the next couple of weeks, just hanging out. So she was down by the pool, condo is on the beach. So yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. Great. Well, for everyone that doesn't know you, I know that you've been on here before, but could you give us just a little quick introduction, who you are, where you're at right now, things like that?
Yeah. Name's Andrew Vose. I am originally from New York. I was in the military for 10 years, special operations community, a bunch of deployments overseas, just got burned out. So then from the burnout phase, I thought it was smart to get a government job and where they just pay you more to deal with the burnout and bull crap. And then I stumbled across the company I'm at now, EXP, and it took me a couple years to join because my buddy, was very persistent, consistent with it, and got my real estate license, and then started selling homes as a single agent in 2018. Sold 22 homes first year, second year, 67 sides, and then last year we did 178 roughly. With 67 million in volume, but now we're up. We're close, and we got like 40 transactions this month, hoping to get around 50 to 60 a month. Well, I'm actually trying to get to 100 to 200 a month, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's you definitely know what you're talking about. So I'm excited to get into some of the stuff about social media strategies and things like that. So talk to me a little bit about social media. Like how have you always been into it? Did it start like when you became a team lead? As it like helped you scale your business, things like that? Like what's the story behind it?
I've always been into it, but it was more so like a platform to where a lot of people use it, and you should, right? Because I think a lot of stuff gets lost in the mix, and people are like, "Oh, I don't have a voice" or something like that. No, we all have social media. You have a voice, right?
Right.
So I used it as like a platform to stay in touch with my friends and family. A lot of times when I was deployed, I'd kind of creep on people. I'm like, man, they're having fun. I'm living vicariously through you because I'm stuck here in the desert and it sucks. But no, stay in touch with friends and family. And then, give myself a platform to let my voice be heard. And then I started with some other businesses I had. I built it up, had a couple followers, and then I just used that. I was like, okay, so I'm new to Colorado. I'm new to Colorado when I started real estate because I just moved there. I never lived there before. So I was like, all right, I need to get my name out there. What's the easiest way? How can I reach the most people? LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, like all that. So I'm like, okay. And I just started posting, wins, losses. Because I'm not one of those realtors that just like, it's great. Mostly I post wins, right? Because people want to see the winning part, right? Because they want to feel the feel good inside.
Yeah.
But, I love when people, doesn't matter about real estate, when they post like the losses or the troubles or like the overcome, like the hurdles they had to overcome, because a lot of people just, I mean, it's flooded with realtors right now. It's flooded with mortgage officers. It's flooded. Every industry I feel like is flooded with sales, right? Because everybody saw their buddies or their friends being like successful with it, which they were successful because they did something that others didn't want to do.
Right.
And I'm sure we're going to talk about phone calls today, because ideally, right? So, and that's what people do. People get listings and they get extra buyers, or they follow up with they just make phone calls and they get things that come to them because they do the work, right? It's not just like a platter. Hey, here you go. Here's 9 sellers, So yeah, I used social media a lot, and I just post pretty frequently. So
cool. Well, I like that you bring that up, because we talk about this a lot, but I don't remember the percentage, but I think like 85, maybe to 90% of people leave the business within their first 5 years, and which is a crazy statistic. Like, most people that enter real estate end up leaving because they don't do the right strategy, they don't do the right activities, and then they end up having an empty pipeline, don't know what to do. So they have to provide for their families, or they have to do something else. So they leave. So that's great that you brought that up. And I think with social media, there's so many different ways to do it. And there's so many different, like everybody probably has a social media account, right? Like, if you don't, you're kind of out of the loop, especially in real estate and where a lot of people's time is spent. If you're not showing up there, then you're going to be missing out on a tremendous amount of business. So with people that maybe post, like, there's some people that post maybe once a year or post once a month, things like that. What's kind of your schedule, your regimen that helps you stay consistent?
It's even I just want to backtrack a little bit, and it's the best ones are that have a social media account and it's private.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay, so you're an introvert, even on social media, and you don't want to make friends? I mean, I don't know. Like, it's even in the name, social media, right? Like, I don't know. It's just like, all right. So I just always think it's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
But like, and I'm not knocking, if you have a private account, that's your own personal prerogative. But if you're trying to get business and trying to really, maximize the free platforms, I recommend just not be public, right? I post my daughter on mine. I post my food. I post my cars, post my houses, my clients, post everything in one. I don't mix it up. I don't have multiple accounts. I have Andrew Vose. And I have about me, right, in my profile. Like, what do I do? Well, I'm proud. I'm an Army veteran. I was a Ranger, right? I'm proud of that. I'm a realtor. I'm proud of that. If they don't know what you do, like, why would they come to you, right? Be proud of where you're at. And I try to leave, like, off my personal account, like, in my handle, I don't have my company name. I have my name, my branding, right? Because the company is almost irrelevant. Like, and what I'm pretty consistent at is my stories, right? When I have a follower, I want to keep my followers engaged. And how do I do that? I walk them through my daily activity. And today I think I've been slacking, so please don't pull it up and put me on the spot. But I'm pretty good about it. Like, this is what I do daily. I wake up and I get some coffee and I drink cold brew. So I'll normally, like, either take a picture of myself or with the cold brew, either on my looking at the view of the water or my computer or something like that, or I'll just post a picture of the coffee. And then, okay, my day started, right? They know I'm awake. And then I get my daughter ready to go to camp now, or school, whatever. And then sometimes we'll take a selfie in the car, or like a funny, like, video, or just like us singing or her singing, or, something, or just a picture of her. And then I'll post just like wins. Okay. Closed, under contract, closed, under contract. And then I'll post like a food, and then, or I'll post the gym, and then I'll post the food, right? Just whatever happens first. Usually my daily routine is drop my daughter off, go to the gym. So you usually get a sauna picture, and then, because like, But what it's also showing people is that I'm consistent.
Yeah.
And I'm consistent in my daily routine. And there's a lot of like hidden messages in people's social media about that person. So if you watch me in my social media, you know what my day is. Like, you know that, like, I mean, I've kind of threw some stuff in there. I've been trying to learn golf. So if you see golfing,
Ooh.
that's a new thing. Yeah. But like, so I'll do 10 to 15 stories a day, and it just kind of walks people through my day.
Okay.
And then I'll post something on my wall on Facebook, and I'll try to post the same things on all platforms, but I do throw some mixes in there because I don't want them to feel, oh, well, I follow them on Instagram, don't really need to follow them on Facebook, I get the same content, right? So I try to switch it up a little bit, and but sometimes it's easier just to post all on one and then just download the story, throw it on Snapchat, because I'm the least active on Snapchat, right? Like, I chat with some of my friends because we send like goofy stuff to each other that we don't want like proof of.
Yeah.
And but I'll post like the story on there. And but because Snapchat's great, because those are usually the people from your phone. And instead of having to send out text messages to these people all the time, which I think you should, especially on birthdays, like, you know how irrelevant it is to tell somebody on Facebook happy birthday, like on their wall. They just got like 500 other people that told them. If I have their number, guess what I do? I text them. And then if you have a phone, that's how you text them. It's going to, now that you said happy birthday, it's going to say, do you want to save their birthday in their contact? Yes. And now it adds it to your calendar. Boom. It's great how technology just, so then you can automatically say, okay, whose birthday is it? Boom. And then I still try to do the Facebook happy birthdays because I want other people to see my name. But for me, it's not as personable. It's like,
it's not.
Yeah. So I'll send them a direct message, or if I have their number, I go straight to phone. And then that's pretty much it. Like I used to, this is what and I still do this once in a while. Like there was some guy that got like #1 in California on Real Trends, #1 team in California for Real Trends. We made like top 1.5% in the nation, which I'm still super proud of. Congrats, team. Y'all crushed it.
Wow.
We got a little bit to go to get to the top, but we will. And the guy added me, and he was like, I was like, hey, dude, like, I DM'd him. I was like, hey, I would love to get some of your time. Like, you're the #1 team in California. Let's talk. But I just send DMs like that. I direct message people all the time because I want to stay top of mind for people. And then also there's a lot of things like I send closing gifts, and then I'm just going off. So if you want me to stop,
this is great. I'm like writing all these notes. It's awesome.
Yeah. And then for like the closing gifts we send, you can use mailbox power. It's great. If you already use something, that's awesome. But ours asks for a referral and asks for a social media post. Like, so then they post on the story and they tag me, or they post on their wall and they tag me, and then I share it. And we have 40 plus agents in Colorado. And as soon as somebody posts something, guess what? I share it. Because now their people potentially see a share under there. Like, oh, who shared this? Why is it relevant? Right? Because I always look at who shares what.
Yeah.
I'm like a little nosy guy. I'm like, and then I want to see who's sharing my stuff, right? Because if it's friends that I haven't connected with, but they're giving me like clout, shoot, that's my bad. We need to reconnect, right? Like, thank you for sharing my stuff.
Yeah.
And then when people comment on stuff, I always try to like it and comment. Sometimes I just like it because I don't want to get bogged down with social media, but it's a crucial part of the business.
Yeah. Okay, so a few things I want to like break down here that I wrote down. One thing is I wanted to ask you like what. So this might seem overwhelming for somebody who doesn't do social media at all, right? And they're like, okay, this sounds like a lot. So where is like somewhere to start? Like maybe what's the most important app maybe you think is probably the best to start with? And just maybe some beginner tips for people that might be overwhelmed.
Yeah, so there's an app that we just started using. It's $150 or $200 lifetime membership. It's called Hero, and you can connect all your social media platforms to that, and you can schedule out the posts, right? So I would do that, right? And you can just create posts throughout the week, or like, okay, I'm going to take an hour out of this Sunday before, if you go to church or you're going to get coffee or going to play golf, whatever you do that. All right, I'm going to create this next week's post. And so I would get something where you can automatic post. I think Rivet has one too. Hero has one. Those are the two that I use. Our team uses Hero, and I personally use the Rivet. And then I would get with a professional photographer and who can do drone and photos. And I'd pick out a couple outfits, and I'd pick out a couple key areas in your place. So like for me, Pensacola Beach is my new spot, right? I want to become the guy on the beach. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to showcase places on the beach, right? Obviously, I'm going to showcase the beach. So I'm going to go do some photos on the beach, and then maybe if you got the ability, hop in my golf cart, and we're going to drive around with the photographer and take some lifestyle photos, right? And then we'll go in town, change the outfit, get a couple photos. So now what are you doing? You're going to take 50 to 100 photos. Now you have no reason not to post something, right? And I would start there, right? So that's tip number 3. So after you have those photos, I would go to Fiverr. And I'd say, okay, I would go to Fiverr. Fiverr is a platform where you can get a freelance person to build stuff for you. Courses, content, whatever. They'll build whatever. Data entry. So you take that and you're like, okay, I have these 50 photos. Now, because you want your face and your name in everything, because you are your brand. And I can't emphasize this enough. I believe EXP has helped me a ton to get where I've gotten, but they are not. I could have did what I did at any company.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, because they helped me build my business, but they didn't build my business. Right.
Right.
So just, you are the brand. Be the brand. If your company's not allowing you to be the brand, I don't know what to tell you. I do, but fine. Yeah. Just be the brand, because everybody's got a beautiful face, beautiful smile, and you just need to put it on everything. So you go to Fiverr and you say, hey, you type in your request and you're like, hey, I want to be I want some motivational stuff. I want some lifestyle. I want some travel stuff. I want some quotes. I want some real estate. And they're going to build you pieces of content, right? And I think REDX, they actually have a new social media content, YouTube, and I'd love for you to share that, right? Because I'm just learning a little bit more about it. And so get with REDX as well, because they have YouTube and all that. So, but figure out how to get content and just post it. And everybody, a last tip on this section is, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're waiting for it to be perfect, guess what? How long you're going to be waiting? Forever.
Yep.
I post stuff and I was like, oh crap, there's like 3 typos in there. What do? I just go and fix the typos, or I'm like, oh, there's kind of a dark picture, or I should have did something. Doesn't matter. What matters is the content's out there and people are noticing. So
love it. I do want to speak a little bit to what you said about what REDX has. It is not a public product quite yet. So Andrew just gave you a little bit of a sneak peek, which is fine. It's totally cool. It is, we offer it to our customers right now, and then soon enough, we will offer it to everybody that is not a current REDX customer. But it is a social product. It's something that helps
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's great. A little bit of a teaser for people. That it is a social media product that helps you do exactly what Andrew is saying to do, create social content and stuff like that.
Don't fire me, please. I don't know if I can handle the rejection. No, but
no, you're good.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, awesome. But I did want to say, I love that you said it doesn't have to be perfect. I think even me, even like my own personal, I mean, I'm not a realtor. I'm a marketer at REDX. And so I usually just use my social media just for like personal reasons to reach out to my family and friends and things like that. And even then, I still worry about like perfection and making sure that posts are perfect. And so I think that's really important to remember. And I just wanted to highlight that. Also, love that you talked about building your brand. I think building your personal brand as a real estate agent is probably the most important thing. I think especially with new agents getting into the business and there's so much competition and things like that. So if you're getting your name out there in the ways that we're talking about, I think that's awesome. I love that. Also, thank you for the tools that people can use. We did have a question come in from Deanna. She was asking, what could I use to get started without committing to a subscription?
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, go ahead.
cool. So I think it's going to be tough, but I think the Rivet, and let me see if I have it up right now. I got about 90 tabs open. That's how my brain
Same.
operates. So how about I do this? How about I get with Haley after this so I don't look like I'm just lost in my computer first, and I will send her the link. But the Rivet, I believe the Rivet's free. And Hero, it's not a subscription. It's a one-time payment of $150
Oh,
or
great.
$200, right? And that was a promo that was running. So the price, please don't quote me on it, but I'll send you the link for Derivet that I believe is free.
Awesome. Yeah. And then whenever he sends those over, I'll put those in the show notes for anybody that wants to check those out. But that's awesome. Okay. Another thing, I have a lot of stuff that I wrote down. So I'm just going through
Yeah.
this. But one thing I wanted to ask is so when you were talking about like what you post on social media, for example, like all the different stories that you do throughout the day, a lot of people ask like, what do I even post? Like a lot of people post just their listings or just things about real estate. But what I liked about what you said, it was just kind of like, well, there goes my camera again. Not sure what's going on.
All
Anyway,
good.
we'll just keep going. Is you're just diversifying your content with that is about you, not just Andrew the realtor, but also just Andrew the person, right? So talk about that. Like when people are worried about what to post, what kind of content, what would you give that advice?
Yeah, so I think the more and more we're getting, into social media, and it's became a part of our life, right? But I think if you can be as authentic as you can show authenticity on social media. What you see is what you get, right? I text Haley, I called her before. I was like, hey, I'm in a tank top. I'm hanging out at the beach. Is that cool? She kind of laughed at me. She said, "No, well, you don't really need to be in a suit." And I'm like, in my brain, right? It's because I respect them and the relationship I have with REDX. But in another part of my brain, I'm like, well, this is me. Why am I worried about like what they think or the viewers think, which I explained why I care what they think, because we have a relationship, a professional one, right? And I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I'm also, why am I going to act like something I'm not? So you barely ever see me in suits. What you see is what you get. I always, I'm always honest up front. I voice my opinion, right? I try to, with all the craziness going on in the world, I try to leave politics and religion out of it, but I'm not one to just sit around and just like let things happen to me, right? I don't just so but I limit that. But just be authentic. Be like, you don't have to have all these fancy professional videos. Just hop in there and maybe record yourself a couple times on your phone and listen to your voice, listen to the things you're saying. And that's the hard part. I don't like listening to myself after. I'm like, send, walk away, never listen to it again. But it may help you, right? And as you're going through it, you're just going to get better and better. And some people have asked me, like, how do you just come up with this stuff? How do you keep it going? It's because I freestyled it so much, and I'm not perfect. And there's people way better than me, but I've done it a ton. that I can just think of stuff, or I can, just like we deal with objections in real estate or on the phone calls or stuff like that. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And I bet you if you go into it and you're like slumped over and you're frowning and you're like, oh crap, I don't want to do it. Videos suck, calls suck. That's how that's going to go. But if you're like chest out, smiling's probably the most important part, right? Because if you're smile, upbeat, people can feel it on the other side of the phone, and people can feel your energy on social media. So if you're like somebody commented on one of my videos, they're like, dang, on pre-workout much? I'm like, heck yeah, life. I was on pre-workout though, because I just left the gym and I feel like it was still kicking in. But I like, if you're just like high energy and just roll with it, yeah, you may have to take some stuff down if you don't like it, or you could have said, but that's okay. Like you're just getting it. You have to get it going.
Right.
So
I love it. Be authentic. Just start, really, right? Like, don't worry about it too much, and it'll get better. I know, like, anybody probably goes and looks at their old social media and they cringe. So it's just starting, you'll get better and things like that. We did have a question come in from Larry. He's asking, what are the best times to post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn?
Yeah. So, so the best time to post, and she's probably watching this. So the best time to post for like videos and all that, she just told me the other day. I just post when I want to post. But what I heard from somebody that's really good at YouTube is post in the evenings. Post videos in the evenings. Why? Because they're home, they're on their phone, they're like, all right, day's over, right? So post videos in the evening. And then I would schedule your actual like wall posts. I would post them in the morning. I try to do that in the morning, and you can schedule those out. And so what I would do, I would do something like, I would just run a test against yourself, right? Post some videos in the morning, see how many views you're getting, right? Or post the videos at night and see how many views you get. And then just see your engagement on like the still posts. And you may want to just space them out or change them. But I know I know this is not really about phone calls, but we try to do 9 to 11, 4 to 6 or 4 to 7 or 5 to 7, something like that, right? Because catch them before they drop their kid, or catch them in the morning or catch them in the evening. Because if you call people in the middle of the day or you post in the middle of the day, it doesn't make sense, because people are like, I'm on my phone all the time. So I'm like, oh, that's a cool post. That's a cool post. But people that aren't in the sales industry, they're not. They are engaged in their job all the time, and their job isn't on their phone most of the time. So
Awesome. That's good advice. Well, hey, we're getting to the end here, but I wanted to ask you just a final question of anything else that we didn't already share that you think is beneficial for agents to hear. Anything, like last words?
Yeah. So 2 tips. Go through and add people on your Facebook. You can max out on your Facebook at 5,000 friends. So add people per day, the suggested people. Make sure they're in your market and they're not where you used to live, right?
Yeah.
So and that's cool. Add them if you want, but you're trying to build your business, right? So you want to get people in your market. And then what I would do is try to focus on 50 DMs, direct messages a day. And I would do the hunt, farm, cultivate. So I would ask people directly, hey, Haley, are you looking to buy or sell in the next 12 to 24 months? Hope all is well, right?
Yeah.
How you doing? Very direct message. It's business oriented. Hey, and then farming. Hey, Haley, do you know anybody going to look to buy or sell in the next 12 to 24 months? Now you're farming her network, right? And then a cultivate message. Hey, Haley, I just saw that your son won their baseball tournament. That is freaking awesome. Congrats to you guys. Hope all is well. Nothing about business, right? And I would try to pick 50 messages to send out a day, whether that's on Instagram. If they don't follow you on Instagram, just so you know, probably not going to get the message. But if you're friends on Facebook, and you could even do this on Snapchat, right? But just make sure, if you're married and you're on Snapchat, you're like, you guys have an agreement, because Snapchat's known for that crazy stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to get people. And then LinkedIn, if you're a professional, professionals hang out on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, I recommend you get one, but I have some great conversations and I've met some great people off LinkedIn. So you can send messages through there as well.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. Oh, also, where can people find you if they want to hear more or contact you, anything?
Dangerous. I'm going to give you my phone number. So my phone number is 315-651-1597. I try to get back to every text and call, do a text first. And then my Instagram is at Andrew M. Vose. And
Perfect.
Just add me and shoot me a text and I'd love to connect with you.
Awesome. He just gave you his phone number, guys. So blow it up, ask him all the questions. So hopefully we get some people to contact you. But awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for coming back. This has been awesome. We'll have to have you on again. Thank you so much for taking your time to help agents be better with social media, which is super important, especially right now. Awesome. Yeah. Well, to everybody watching, thank you so much for joining in live. Thank you for your questions, for people that chimed in, and for people that are listening to this afterwards. Thanks for listening. As always, we're here every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 3:30 Eastern. You can subscribe at theredx.com/podcast, all the good stuff. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.